I understand that it can feel quite intimidating to have to read Korean when everything is so standard and the choice of word is at the advanced level. However, if you switch that up by studying with something less advanced, it's going to make your reading process a lot more simpler. So today I will show you guys how I study Korean using a child's book. 안녕하세요, Teni입니다. This is the most important part of it all, which is to get the right resources that you're going to be using to study. A good resource will be the books on the screen. At the moment, I'm learning with 10 best tools of Korea, and I'm currently at chapter 9. I will soon be done with it. After that, I am definitely going to use these textbooks. When I first started, I started more with folk tales and stories because I just wanted to know more about Korean culture and how things are in Korea, instead of me just diving into reading sessions and things like that. So you don't need something that's very complicated. If you get something quite simple, it makes you not to feel overwhelmed when you are trying to read. After you have a resource you would like to use, the next thing will be to read in bits. I know that when you start learning Korean, you are so excited, you just want to read 4 or 5 stories in one day, but honestly, if you try to do that, you will just be reading it and not really understand what is going on in the passages. So it is much more better for you to read in bits. Another thing would be to read these things out loud. While you are reading, it is very important that you are pronouncing the words. If probably you have more like the audio recording of these stories, it is very good and always advisable to first listen to how a native speaker reads it before you start trying to read, because there are some places whereby you have to kind of like take a pause. There are some places whereby you kind of have to read the sentence without breathing in between. 집으로 돌아갔던 도중에 응보는 따르르. You really wouldn't know if you are just like reading on your own without learning from someone and learning how native speakers read them. Since you will be reading in bits, this will make highlighting a lot more easier, and also you'll be able to comprehend those words a lot more quicker compared to you reading like everything in one day. Try to get the English translation of those words and write it under each of the highlighted words. After you read it in Korean, it's also very important for you to read it in English. That's we can see and know and also understand what you have read. Your translation of a certain sentence might be different from what it actually is when you read it in English. That way it makes you not to misunderstand what you've actually read, and also it helps you to understand the logic behind how Korean writers think and how they write their sentences, how they construct their sentences, and things like that. After highlighting your known words, it is time to write down these words out. You probably need a different note for this. You bringing out the unknown words of this passage and writing it down in a note specifically for reading will help you to build your vocabulary list in the aspect of each story that is being discussed in the book. Usually what I will do is that once I write the unknown words, I write English translation. And then after that, I try to make sentences. Most of the time, I'll make sentences with what happened in the story or in the folk tale. Or sometimes if I just want to do something different, I can decide to make sentences with something around me or something in my life or something about school or college or anything like that. Just to make sure that you're using those words, because if you don't come back to use those words, you will tend to forget over time because we will not be reading the same thing. I really don't enjoy this part, mainly because sometimes it can get boring. So usually what I will do is to skim through, like since I'm reading in bits, what I will do is to skim through each of the bits I've read, and then once I'm done with the whole story itself, then I'll read it all together. Instead of me having to like read this part today, read the same part tomorrow. So which resources are you going to be using to learn Korean, to practice your reading? Which resource? I would really love to know. Please tell me in the comment section. And also, to be honest, I didn't really feel like filming this video today, mainly because I really need to study, and also I still have a video that I need to edit that I've been trying to edit it for a very long time, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up because it helps to support me.